babe, I struggle, and this is my job, you know?
Yeah.
Does it make you nervous right now?
No, I don't struggle. Throw me into anything, and I'm just good at it.
I just like looking at you because I'm in love with you. You're pretty handsome. Wait, but you should look at the road.
Yeah, I'm driving. We're on 13th East. 9th East.
Alright, this has been a long-awaited vlog, and we are excited to share our story. So I know this is kind of lame because we're in the car, but there's a reason. We are gonna go to a park and like set up the tripod and make it all cutesy. But I was like, how fun would it be if we took them on our like first for everything? The first time that you lost your... He's kidding. Like the first place we went on a date, the first place we like hung out, the first place
actually it's not gonna be the first place we went on a date because...
Oh yeah. But
we can just tell that story.
Where you picked me up at?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you where I picked you up.
Okay guys, this is the Grand American. You can see why it's so grand. So big.
Fun fact, she made me wait to pick her up because she was getting out of makeup. And so to retaliate, don't do this. I drove around the block like 15 times, went to the gas station, got a Red Bull.
Purposefully late.
So I was even more late. So she was late, like 30 minutes late, and so I was an extra like 15 minutes late. And I just remember that I was like, oh, this didn't cost me great stuff.
And it was really nerve-wracking because we had never hung out. I knew nobody who knew him. He knew nobody who knew me. Does that make sense? We'd never been around one another. It really was kind of like a blind date. What's your saying? It's like better we met on Twitter rather than...
We met on Twitter, and I'm glad it wasn't Tinder.
So anyways, the Grand America, that's where our first date was at. So how cool would it be if we thought about having our wedding reception here, but the Grand America is pretty beautiful. And anyways, reminiscing, this is the spot where we first...
This is where I first met her parents. Pick her up at the Grand America Hotel. On February 21st is our first date.
Happy birthday, Dad! That was your birthday!
And we were supposed to go to a
Albion event.
Albion Fit runway show. We're releasing like new clothing and showing off.
Yes.
And the plan was pick her up, go to dinner, and then go to this thing. And so we drove up to Park City. And you know me, I was taking a long way just so we could sit in the car and talk. I think I drove to Draper, and then I went on I-15, and then I took I-215 around the valley. Then we finally made it out.
And I'm just a blonde. I'm like, oh, this is pretty. Where are we going?
Actually, this ring on my necklace, you had it on our first date. And you dropped it.
Oh yeah, in your car.
And I still wear it.
You cutie.
We get to dinner, this Chinese restaurant, and we talked for like 3 hours. And missed the entire fashion show.
Yeah. We pull up, I'm like, oh, maybe we should go. We pull up, we go inside, valet the car, and everyone's like clearing out. And one of the marketing girls was like, Carly, glad you could make it. And I just felt so bad. I was just like, oh, I'm sorry.
So we valeted the car for like 3 minutes, and it's at Stein Erickson, so it was like 15 bucks.
Oh, sorry, babe.
It was snowing. And then something funny, we were driving back down, and I don't know if you know Park City, but when you get to Main Street, you kind of turn off. It's where they have the Sundance Film Festival. And I put on this John Mayer song.
Slow dancing in a burning room.
It's a terrible song about like 2 people that are in love, but everything's crumbling around them. But we liked it.
That's like, I've tweeted that song out multiple times being like, this is the most romantic song. I want to dance with somebody I love to this. And then he turned it on in the car and I was like, how did you know? How did you know?
That was my heart. My heart told me. And I love John Mayer. I'm kind of obsessed.
Yeah, he gets like a man crush. MCM on John Mayer. We love him. So I swore off dating. I was like, I need to focus on me and my career and my life, and just, you know, I need a time out from dating. Like, this is not, I wasn't even thinking about dating at all. And then Logan was like, oh my gosh, Eric Church is coming to Salt Lake, let's go. And he had just like gotten out of a messy relationship too. And so I was like, let's just invite some people and go have fun. Like, that was where my mindset was at. Like, I just want to start hanging out with a bunch of people and have fun and not take everything so serious. And so Logan's like, let's invite people we've never hung out with or like been with. He's like, you invite somebody and I'll invite somebody. I was like, yeah, but that means I have to ask the guy. And Logan's like, do it, that'll be cool. And as soon as Logan said that, Jackson popped into my mind, so I slid him a DM.
On Instagram.
IGGY.
You sent me a picture of Eric Church. Before I opened it, I think I had seen your tweet about Eric Church, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what she's doing. And I couldn't
What
go.
was I doing?
She's asking me on a date. Carly Butler was asking Jackson Wood on a date. And I couldn't go because I was going to Las Vegas. And I had a legitimate excuse to go to Las Vegas. I went to a conference, an alternative investment conference. That was on a Tuesday.
He still tells that story, but I know he just went to Vegas to have fun, but I'm not even mad.
No, well, I had fun the whole weekend and then worked on Tuesday.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, babe.
But I thought, dang it, I can't go. I said no to Carly Butler. Like, who does that?
Stop it.
And I was like, well, whatever. It kind of makes me look like I've got important things to do. And then I said, hey, next time you're down in Salt Lake, let's go to a jazz game, or let's go out to lunch. I know some cool spots, local spots in downtown. And it was like another 2 or 3 weeks almost. And that's when we went on our first date, because she said, well, hey, I'm going to be down for this Albion Fit event. Do you want to go? And I said, yeah, I'll go. Fashion shows, those are totally my thing.
I try to make it like Friends, and I'm like, you can come with me and stare at about a bunch of hot girls walking down the runway. And you're like, sure, I'm down.
Well, so then we go on our first date, and I think I was trying to play it like a little too cool.
Yeah.
Like, definitely
For
was.
sure.
And so it was that like mindset that we were both going through, like, well, I text her last. She's like, well, his last text sucked, so I'm not texting him. And so we were both stubborn. For 2 weeks, we didn't talk for 2 weeks, and I was like, well,
After our first date, right?
yeah.
So then 2 weeks later, he sent that message, that follow-up, like, well, if you're ever in Salt Lake and you have,
No,
you want to hang out.
But I remember we talked a little bit. Like, we talked while I was down there, and I was messaging you the whole time I was driving down. And so I was like totally not just blowing you off and stop and not talking to you, because we kind of talked, right? And then it's hard when you're in Pocatello. Like, what are you going to come to Salt Lake for? And what am I going to go to Pocatello for? So that's when I capitalized on, hey, next time you're down here, let's go do something.
Which is so crazy. Okay, and I know a lot of you have different beliefs than us, and that's totally fine. We're not here to whatever. But that's where I really feel like when God has the timing for your life, for the right things to happen, He helps them line up. Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, literally all these, like right after he sent me that message, if you're in Utah, all these like Utah bloggers, photographers, I did that fake wedding, companies started messaging me being like, hey, do you want to do a photo shoot? Do you want to collab? So I had all these dates lined up to come down to Utah. And it was just crazy because I was down here all the time.
It was like every other weekend.
Yeah.
Or you'd fly to a convention and the connecting flight would be out of Salt Lake. So it's like, hey, come down, you know, early and let's go on a date.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, you know, you fly through Salt Lake, so let's go on another date. And so it worked out because it was like God found excuses for us to be together, or ways for us to be together.
There might be some sound issues. Okay, continuing on. We had to turn off the AC in the car, so we got some serious back sweat going on.
I'm gonna show some respect. I just felt it.
It's a whole new level of comfort we've just for each.
What you do when you're like getting ready to get
like color swass. Okay.
Oh,
that's good swass, babe. Anyways, okay. So
you didn't blow it. Because our first date was fun. It wasn't like a date you get off the date and you're like, wow, that was just the most amazing date ever.
Rude.
No. I mean, it was like, I like that girl. It was great. But I just couldn't tell what
you can't backpedal. You already said it.
No, I just couldn't. I couldn't interpret.
I guess I didn't do that bad of a job. I mean,
it was a fun date. But you know those dates.
I think we were still guarded. Like you could tell that
we were both just being careful. I think,
yeah.
Because
you weren't looking for anything, and neither was I.
Well, it's hard when you get out of a relationship and then you like start kind of dabbling in dating again.
Yeah.
You don't want to get screwed over or hurt, and so you're just extra cautious. And I think that we were still just being like that.
Yeah.
But after I got that text, I was like, I got this. I felt good about myself, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start trying again. Like, I've got to start like showing that I'm genuinely interested.
Guys, like, yeah, our first date wasn't amazing. It was just like one of those whatever.
That's not what I meant. People who are watching this video will get it.
Yeah. No, it's
But
good. So long story short, we decided from then on, we're like, okay, well, let's just start going on dates and we'll see what happens. And so then I came back from Chicago and I was at the Marriott and we hung out all night, stayed up through the entire night, didn't kiss, nothing happened. We watched Jerry Maguire.
I had to work the next day, and I walked out of the hotel. You walked into the hotel at like, you got there late, like 11.
Yeah, my flight was late.
And then I walked out of the hotel, and the same guy was working front desk, and he just like winked at me. I just kind of was like, hey, dude, you have no idea. We just sat there and talked and watched CNBC and Jerry Maguire.
The whole night. Yeah, you taught me about your job now.
And I went home and showered, and then put my work clothes on. Work clothes. Like I wear work clothes. I wear a dress shirt and pants. And went to work. And I was so dead tired, but it was good because we like cuddled.
I'm not really. We didn't even hold hands. Our legs touched at the end. Like
No,
if we were laying down.
Your chest on me.
I did.
Your head on my chest.
I had my chest on you. I did not have my chest. I had my head on your chest.
Yeah. Because we were watching Jerry Maguire in this suite at the Marriott.
I remember I was trying not to be a creep because you guys know how I'm with smells. I was trying not to be a creep, but I was trying to smell him and be like, do I like his cologne? You don't smell bad, but I couldn't smell anything. Like, you smelled clean. But I like it strong, you know, like how you smell right now. I just want to smell you. So then, I don't remember what date that was, but then I know that we started.
That was early March or late February.
Well, our first date was February 21st.
Okay, so
then we had kind of talked and dated all through March. But our first kiss, we waited an entire month to kiss. And
you can't be the guy that's like into someone and you want to date them and you can see it going somewhere and then you're just all over them like the first day.
Right.
So we went on like 5 dates before I kissed you.
It was good.
And I started to worry like, she probably thinks I'm like a wuss.
I didn't think you were.
But I just had to make sure that you knew I didn't want to just get some and leave. I was into it.
Hit it and quit it. Good job, babe.
I'm not a hit it and quit it guy. So, after we kissed, on what day was it? March 31st? Nope. March 21st.
Nope. March 23rd.
It was at a hotel because you were down here for work again.
It was at. There's no one. So I feel like our relationship has been like glorified dating through in hotels. But then.
It's because you always had to come down here for work.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Then it came down like.
We had whole little nights out. Come down.
Yeah, it was special.
And it's like, what am I going to do in Pocatello? Like, why do I have the excuse to go to Pocatello? So it didn't happen.
Pocatello, Idaho.
I didn't go up there until we had been like dating for a while because me going to Pocatello wasn't for work or anything. It was to meet your family.
Oh yeah.
So.
How about the first time he met my brothers? He was at a wedding in Park City, and Shay.
You were in Chicago.
I was in Chicago. No, yeah, I was in Chi-Town. Yeah. And Shay and Casey, they were all doing that Trixon CrossFit event in Park City. My family I can't even tell you, we've never been together as a family in Park City all together at one time. And Jackson called me, he's like, I'm in Park City right now. I was like, that's crazy, my entire family is. And he's like, should I go say hi? I was like, what, you would do that? So he went all by himself without me, took his Supra, and went and met up with my brothers, my family, just so he could introduce himself and say hi.
Yep, her parents were there, brothers, Derek,
all the trips and crew.
I mean, everyone was there. I just walked in and they were having photos in my wedding clothes, was in a suit.
You're like, what's up, guys? I remember Shay sent me a picture, my mom sent me a picture, and Shay had his head on his chest, and Shay texted me, he smells good and he's really handsome.
I was nervous, but I thought, well, gotta impress him somehow.
That takes a lot of huevos. Gones. To go and meet brothers without being there. So that was one of the first times I was like, this is a good flag, like a good green flag. And then you met Cooper like 3 months after we had been dating, and you just went to his baseball game and my family was there.
You were cautious to introduce Cooper, and I wanted to I got my mom so I never backed out of being boyfriend. I want to be happy and date, right? So obviously you're going to meet people, and that's just the way it goes. But I didn't want to get into Cooper's life and then make him think, oh, I really like Jackson, go do stuff, and then all of a sudden I disappear because Carlie and I can't get along. So we made sure that we took our time. When I was introduced to Cooper, we were at a baseball game, just really mellow. We got pizza afterwards. If you can put the pictures up. Pictures.
You guys are playing arcade games. That's a hard thing for me because of course I love my baby boy and I'm going to do the best things for him, and I would never put Cooper in a situation where it'd make him feel like weary or scared. And I just, from day one of being like around you, I just knew that you were different and that this was going to be different. And my biggest pet peeve is like reading in the comments like, this is going too fast, this is going too fast. Because trust me, every like single time we'd go on a date where we'd like look at each other and be like, is this too good to be true? Like, how are we so lucky right now where so many things are just lining themselves up, and we can't explain it to you guys. And I couldn't have like handwritten the story out more perfectly, but I just feel like finally like God's given us a break, and
every door opened.
Yeah.
Every pathway was clear.
There's so much to the story. I feel like
we could make an hour or 2 hour long vlog.
It's probably going to be a long vlog.
But no, we were careful, and there's no like magical formula. Date X amount of months, go on X amount of dates, go on these trips, and then you have a successful relationship.
Yeah, what about people who are married for like 25 years and it doesn't work out? Or people who date for 5 years and it doesn't work out? Or like, I dated someone for 2 years and it didn't work out. Like, you try until it's a feeling that you have, and when you feel that way, you just know it's going to be different. And I felt that after one of our dates. I was driving home, and it's like this peaceful, like, I was like kind of praying out loud, like, is this going too good to be true? Like, something bad has to happen because this has just been too great. And I just had like the best feeling. It was like a peaceful feeling, and I was just like, I think we're going to be together for forever. And I just felt so calm and like just reassured. I don't even know how to explain that. And then I didn't tell him that though. I was like, I don't want to be that creepy girl. It's like, I had this special feeling.
That's funny.
Like, run for the hills.
I mean, everything that you said you wanted is what I had wanted. And so timing is irrelevant when you find someone that you love.
I love you. Let's just make out and turn off the camera.
Cut.
Cut. Just kidding. Okay, and then.
But now we kiss all the time.
No, you have on my lip gloss. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all the time. Well, she never denies me a kiss when she's wearing lip gloss.
I just warn him. Girls warn your guy. Like, I have lipstick on. I still want to kiss you, but you just do softer kisses. So it kind of doesn't fit on there, but you still get to make the contact, you know. But then he told me. But then he told me he loved me April 27th. That was kind of special at the Little America. We just went swimming with Cooper and had a pizza night and hanging out. And then we went to what temple did we go to the next day? We went to like an open house. The church does this thing before they dedicate a temple. They have an open house and anybody can kind of come in and see what the church is about and what the temple, what you learn in the temple, and not everything, but kind of, you know.
Just kind of gives you a glimpse of like what we believe in.
Yeah,
so
which is.
So if there's a temple in your area, you should go.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's really pretty and stuff.
Yeah, Cooper loved it, and we took your sister Rachel and Mackie, and that was super fun. Obviously, there's a greater purpose in us being together if this has worked out in such a way. I can't even talk about it. I'll start crying because it's pretty cool. So anyways, I'm grateful for Carrie and for that friendship was rekindled, because if it wasn't for that, then I'm sure you would have found a job, but
I mean, it's just things like months and months before we even met for the first time in person, things were kind of falling into place.
Yeah.
And
just cry.
I'll cry too.
This is gonna happen. And he asked Cooper for permission to marry me, which I didn't know about. I had a little shoot I was doing in Salt Lake, and I was like, hey, will you help out with Cooper for the day? And he was like, yeah, so he took him to the museum, and then I guess he had asked Cooper that day, right? I love you.
Yeah,
we're the biggest criers.
Yeah, Cooper and I went to the dinosaur museum, bought raptor claws. And,
matching raptor claws.
I just told him, I was like, hey man, I love your mom.
Did you say hey man?
No, I didn't say hey man. I said,
hey bro, I love your mom.
Dude. No, I said, Cooper, I love your mom, and I think that I'm gonna ask her to get married, but you're her #1 man right now. I want to see if it's okay with you. And he got this big smile on his face, and he was like, yeah. Yeah, I want you to. And he got really excited, and then I said, okay. So then I asked her dad.
Carl.
Before I could even finish asking him, he was just like, yes.
Well, you've been around my family. My family loves you.
Yeah, I think that they already kind of knew what we were hoping to do, but wanted to make sure that they were actually like okay with it.
That means a lot to me. I appreciate that, because I don't know if it's old-fashioned. I just think it's respectful, and you guys know I'm so close with my family, so.
Cooper kept it a secret that I had the ring. I showed him the ring, and he was like, oh my gosh.
He tried it on, put it on his. I had my wedding bands at home. I heard it's a bad omen to wear your wedding band before you're supposed to. But isn't it so pretty, you guys? He did so good. So anyways, he's been so patient this whole time, understanding my career and my family, and I love that he has a different job than I do, because it's like we can support each other, and he can vent to me and I can vent to him, and we understand, but it's not like this weird competition, or I kind of love that
if she's trying to sell an investment portfolio to the guy that I'm trying to sell it to,
you're going down, babe.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to compete with you. Like, let's just build each other up.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, it was kind of like baptism by fire. I'm like, okay, well, you need to
VidCon,
come to VidCon and see what this is like all about. You can meet, everybody I've worked with, other YouTubers I've collabed with. You can meet everybody who works at Maker. I'm like, just come down for the week. It'll be so fun. We'll go to Disneyland.
Did you link?
I did. And so anyways, yeah, so Disneyland. We're getting to the proposal video, which is hilarious.
This is going to be like a 45-minute video.
You guys aren't even mad, right?
Good thing you have nothing else to do on a Friday night.
So anyways, long story short, we're at Disneyland the entire day, and proof that I didn't know what was happening is, you guys know I'm a nail girl. I always have my nails painted, but I had been picking at my gels the whole day. And one of the things that, kidding, in a joking manner, was like, just make sure when you propose to me that we get it on camera so we can upload it, and my nails are painted, because I knew he'd already asked my dad. So that's how you guys know it was a surprise.
I didn't know when I was going to do it. I just wanted to do it.
You took the ring with you to California, right?
Yeah, I took it with me to California. Well, obviously I gave it to you there.
We're clearing this up for you guys. We totally knew what happened.
Next day we went to Disneyland, and I took it with me in the car, and I forgot the ring, which was a stupid idea. Left it in the car, in my backpack. We go in.
Which is so funny, because I later moved your backpack and almost looked in it. But I didn't, because I'm not
So we were going through, and Whitney was there. You know Whitney. So her and I were kind of scheming the whole time, like, hey, how are we going to do this? And we came up with a plan that the fireworks we thought were at 10, and Carly and Whitney had a business meeting outside of Disneyland at downtown Disney or something like that at 8.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be back by 10, and we were going to meet them with her parents and Coop and me outside of the castle. Well, just how it worked out was the fireworks were at 9:30 and they didn't make it, but it was good because Whitney grabbed the ring, and even things like this, my cell phone didn't adjust to the time, and so I thought it was an hour later, so I was like texting them, putting the pressure on you guys.
You're like, babe, we don't want you to miss fireworks.
I was like, hurry up, come on guys. Like, I didn't
we
say
were
it like
like
that.
sprinting through Disneyland.
But that's how I got the ring, because Whitney was in front, running from the front gates to the castle.
And had the ring on her finger.
And handed it to me.
Running. And then Jackson's like sneakily like, let's take some pictures in front of the castle. I'm like, oh, what? More pictures of myself? Okay, I'd love to.
Yeah, right there. Oh, it's a little dark. Yeah, let's go by the lights. Yeah, can someone keep the flash on? Can you leave the flash on? Okay, hold on, give me one. Okay.
But I had it all planned out. I said, here, Whitney, and I handed her my phone, and your mom knew, and Cooper knew. Oh, I told Cooper when we were on the ride, and he like looked at me like, good night. And then he's like, are you nervous, Jackson? I was like, yeah, I'm kind of nervous. He's like, why? And I was like, what's a big thing I'm about to do? He's like, well, don't blow it.
Just words of advice from Cooper. We love him.
So
then Whitney and I are like hustling because I'm feeling bad. Obviously I didn't want to leave Disneyland, but it was like a pretty big opportunity at this business meeting.
Yeah.
So I had this backstory at the waiter came around when we were wrapping up our business meeting. They're like, oh, sorbet is on the house. Do you guys want some? And I was like, yes. Didn't turn down dessert ever, obviously. 15 pounds later, just kidding. So I had the sorbet, and then we were like running through Disneyland. I'm like, oh shoot, when I get these allergic reactions, I feel itching in my hands. And I was like, I think I'm starting to like break out. And Whitney's like, well, what did you eat? And I'm like, I had that sorbet. And she was like, the mango sorbet? And I was like, I didn't know it was mango, and I'm allergic to mango, so I was like, oh crap. So anyways, we come running, sprinting through Disneyland, and they're all standing in front of the castle, and Jackson's like, let's take pictures in front of the castle. And of course, and this is another cool thing, Disneyland's celebrating their 60th annual, but it's the diamond celebration. So the castle was lit up in all these diamonds and blue lights, and it was just like heavenly. And Princess Aurora is my favorite princess, and this is her castle. And so he's like, yeah, let's take pictures.
But
and so
But it even worked out because they were 30 minutes late.
Oh yeah.
Later than normal, so it was like almost 10:30. But there was no one there. And so it was like, you know, if you go to the Disneyland fireworks, it's like packed.
Right.
And
but then
so
people clear out quickly after.
It was even better than I had hoped for. And so we take pictures, Coop's in them, and then you see in the video, Coop like gets really excited and kind of runs out of the
He
pictures.
like looks up at us and then kind of like backs out, and I am of course oblivious, like looking around like, oh, it's pretty magical. I don't really even remember what you said to me.
I got down on
I swear
knee.
you didn't ask like, will you marry me? I don't remember that at all. I just remember being
promise.
like, this is happening right now.
Yeah, I started making this story about how our story is like a fairy tale, and then I was like, that's dumb, Jackson, just get down on your knees. So I just
feel like you said
knelt
like
down.
our life has been crazy together, and it was like you just randomly said, and I was like, yeah, it has. Like
So I just knelt down, and I knelt right onto a rock on my knee. I was like, oh,
in the
this
video,
hurts.
count for us. I'm pretty sure he's on his knees for 20 seconds.
But then I said her full name, and then I said, will you marry me? And you said yes. So then I put the ring on your finger, and then I stood up. That sun is right in my eyes.
But you look so handsome.
And stood up. People around us were just clapping and
This
screaming.
kid, Matt, you can hear in the video, this kid, I think, said O-S-H-I-G, this guy's proposing.
And you're like, is this really happening? And then you hear Carl, looks like it's happening to me. And then
Carl with the one-liners.
and then we like hug. Cooper comes in, and then this guy, he must have been from China or somewhere, some part of Asia. You can tell he's from India. He just screams out, like, "I'm so happy for you."
It's so
So
funny.
you'll laugh when you see it in the video.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you.
So
It is
happy.
funny.
And when you guys have been tweeting us, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. I can't help but say it in that accent. I'm so happy for you. It was really cute. It was really
funny.
nice.
He screamed it like loud. Like, who does that? But it just made it funny, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice of him to do.
It was sweet. And Cooper all night long kept like holding my ring and looking at me, and he was like, "Mom, are you so happy you got proposed?" Like he keeps calling it proposed, which is really cute. But then immediately after, I was like, "Okay, babe, we got to go to the emergency room," because I was like swelling from here. I was bright red.
Yep. So Coop and Annie went on Splash Mountain.
Yeah, that was also fun because my good friend Annie, who makes jewelry, you guys know her, also she works at House of Blues, so she came over to hang out with us, and so it was fun to share that moment. I was like, "I just got proposed to," and she was like, "What?" So then she took Cooper and we went to
the first
ER.
aid room.
Oh yeah, first aid room. The lady gave me some Benadryl, and then sorry, and then that was that. That's it. Anyways, longest story ever. We have been dating since February. Neither one of us planned
February
on this
21st.
happening this fast, but we're grateful, and because of our background, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's so fast, it's so fast."
It's not too fast. There's no such thing.
No.
There's no such thing, and if you think that there is, and I'm sorry, but there's not. And when you find that person, you'll know what we're talking about.
And Shay and Colette got proposed to and then married like 8 or 9 weeks later, and look at their love story. When it's right, it is right, and when you feel at peace about it, you should chase that feeling as hard as you can and never look back. Yes. And the reason why we're planning
So quickly,
the wedding now is we're trying to get married this year because we believe in not living together before you're married, and that's kind of hard to do because other things come along with that. And that's also very hard to do when you're in love. And so that's another reason why we're trying to get married fast. And honestly, like, I don't want to plan a wedding for a year. That just seems overwhelming and stressful.
November 20th.
Oh, you told them.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some special elements. So
Some cool things on November 21st. So barring like some schedule change or...
yeah.
And then
something happening.
November 22nd, we're going to Hawaii.
Hey,
For like
I've
9
never
days.
been. And you know what's going to happen there? We're going to go surfing.
Surfing, pina coladas.
Virgin. I just like watching your face.
I want to go shark diving.
No, you're crazy. We'll get eaten by sharks.
We have a
We
cage.
can't die on our honeymoon.
How can a shark get through the cage?
Would you guys go shark diving? I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me enough money. I'm afraid in swimming pools. I have that like unrealistic fear that there's really a shark in the pool. Anyways, thank
That's the
you.
hope. Not that there's a shark in the pool, but that's our dates. So that's why we're planning. We went to the wedding planner this morning.
Yeah, we met with Leslie Dawn Events. You guys need to follow her story. She's great. The wedding
she's
planner
cool.
just takes off all the stress. We're actually going to a wedding she's putting on tonight to taste some of food of a caterer and get like an idea of how she does stuff, and
The sun is like right in my eyes.
it's exciting. Here, let's get over. But anyways, we just want to say thank you guys for, there's been way more support than there has been. I mean, no matter what, there's always going to be haters, but we're just mostly grateful for all the support and love, and we hope our story will inspire some of you to open your hearts again if you're afraid to love, because we've all been in that place where you've been heartbroken or maybe you've given up, but you shouldn't give up because the right one's out there and it's gonna line up when it's supposed to, and it will just blow your mind and make you cry because it's the best thing ever. And I love you. Amen. Do you have anything to say?
No, I just think that follow your gut is what I would say.
It's a guy. Follow your gut. I'm like, follow your heart.
Follow your heart, your gut, your instincts. Because,
yeah, whatever it is.
I mean, you have to interpret the information somehow, like in your mind, and then that's how you come up with the feeling. So if it lines up and things work out, then you'll have a good feeling about it.
It's gonna be good, you guys. Enjoy this clip. This is the real raw clip of us at Disneyland getting proposed. It was the best day ever. Love you.
Yeah, right there. Oh, it's a little dark. Yeah, let's go by the lights. Yeah, can someone keep that flash on? Can you leave the flash on?
I'm not sure how to do it.
Okay, hold on. Give me one. Okay.
You take one glass.
Is this really happening?
Fine, I really don't know.
Looks like it's happening to me.
Babe! Why are you getting down? Babe!
I'm so happy for you.
I thought we were gonna get you away.
Congratulations!
Okay, they got it.
Oh my gosh, finally!
He goes, please say what you said.